Nobody's walking out of here without getting an earful.
Oh no. Elderly competitors.
Oh my. Okay, well, welcome. We are so glad you could join us here live in Austin, Texas for the 4th annual Super Bowl of Preaching. I am your host, Rob Overholt, joined by the Hall of Fame bug collector and birdwatcher, Justin Girdler. What is it that you think about today's matchup there, Justin?
Oh, thanks, Bob. I really appreciate it.
It's Rob.
Bob. That's what I said.
No, it's still Rob.
Okay, well, it's going to be an amazing day today. We're going to have these 3 elderly competitors.
There's 4.
Oh,
actually.
4 elderly competitors.
Just keep going, kid. You'll get it.
All right. Well, while they may not be in any kind of physical condition for professional sports, fortunately, that is not a prerequisite for a preach-off. So what we should see here today is their finest performance yet. So we're really excited about today, but let's talk about the drama going off
the field, indeed. It wouldn't be a Super Bowl preaching if it wasn't rife with conflict and controversy, and this year is no different. And what we are now calling #JerseyGate. In a late edition, the team Burke and Green, the champions, slated to wear green, but John Burke, in a diva-like move, deciding he refused to wear green, demanding that he be switched to blue immediately, citing that he's just too experienced to be wearing green and he envies no man. Well, wow. The interwebs are alive and electric with this, so go on to your interwebs, hit your Insters and your Twitters and all those things you crazy kids do, and you're gonna wanna look at #JerseyGate and add your voice to the conversation.
That's right. Well, we could not be more excited about what we are about to witness today. At the core of these 2 teams, we have the timeless tale of 2 old, decrepit
smell bad old
veterans, John Burke and Kenny Green, versus the albeit not too young at all, but dynamic duo of Eric Batman Bryant and Justin Wonder Kid McCarty. This should be something really special. What do you think about the matchup today, Bob?
Well, it's still Rob, Justine, and I don't know how long we're gonna keep this going. But you couldn't have said it any better. We've actually paired 2 returning champions from Super Bowls past with an eager rookie, and then along with him, a honey badger looking for the treat at the bottom of the hole. Wow, this is going to be something. But first, we're going to throw it down to the field and check in with our field reporter, Camille. Give it up for her.
Hello, I'm Camille Hall. I'm here at Gateway Coliseum, and we are so pumped for Super Bowl IV. Are you guys excited? Absolutely. Well, it's going to be the biggest, the best, and the most recent Super Bowl we've had, and we can't wait to see who emerges victorious. Now, we want you to know that we are pumped to see who gets the victory, but we're really pumped to have so many first-time guests here. So if it's your first time here and you've never filled out a Connect card for us, we'd love to know that you're here. You'll find one in the seat back in front of you. If you fill that out and take it to the New Here table in the lobby after the big game, you will get a special a special gift just for being here, and you'll be entered into a raffle, so you don't want to miss that. Also, we've still got folks coming in, so if you would, please scoot into the centers of your rows and your section so that they have room to sit. Now, it's not just us here at Gateway Coliseum watching the big game today. We've also got people online watching our internet campus, and so we want to say a big shout out to them. Thanks for watching with us. But we've also got our other campuses watching via satellite. Do you guys want to see what's going on at our other campuses? Yeah, absolutely, yeah. All right, what's going on down at Gateway South? Wow, well, Gateway South, you don't have to shout quite so loud, but we're excited that you're excited. Who wants to see what's going on at Gateway Central? Let's see what's going on there. Gateway Central. Well, you know what? Those fans are passionate, and we're excited that they're passionate, so that's great too, I guess. We are pumped to have this game play out and to see who will emerge the victor. It looks like they're just about ready down on the field. Let's get started.
Eric Bryant, the Baylor University.
Justin McCarty, University of Kentucky.
Kenny Green, Biola University, Cerritos Junior College, Cypress Junior College, Golden West Junior College, Santa Ana Junior College, Fullerton Junior College.
John Burke, University of Texas, Hook 'em.
Well, good morning, ladies, and welcome to the 4th annual Super Bowl of Preaching. We're so excited that you guys are here. We're going to have a great game. We're really looking forward to what you got to bring. We just want to encourage you to play a safe and clean game. We have these penalty flags. We will penalize the crap out of you if you try to do anything crazy, okay? My name is Nathan Sullivan. This is Whitney Presley. We're going to be calling it clean, okay? And as always, every quarter, each team will be given one challenge play per half. If your challenge succeeds, 3 points will be taken away from the opposing team. If your challenge is weak, like Kenny, 3 points will be deducted from your team, okay? So just try to keep it, strong, We're also going to be getting each quarter with a phrase from the Bucket of Chaos.
That's right. Inside the Bucket of Chaos are 8 random phrases. You must choose a phrase at the beginning of your quarter and try to work that into your preaching somehow. Failure to do so will result in no points being added to your score, but lots and lots of shame.
Yeah.
Lots of shame. Yeah. If you successfully incorporate the Bucket of Chaos phrase into your preaching, you will receive 3 points at the end of that quarter. Understood? Yeah. Excellent.
Now, we know that you men feel like you have this divine message from the Lord, but the Lord's limiting you to 6 minutes, okay? So do not go over, okay? If you go over, God will punish you with a point deduction for every minute that you go over, okay? So let's just try to keep it 6 minutes. We want to stay awake through this, am I right? Okay? So let's not over push it. And then to begin, we have this commemorative coin. It's really just a quarter. We don't really care that much. So, John, because you're clearly at least 40 years older than everyone on the stage, we'll let you call it in the air, okay? Just watch out for your cataracts. Here we go.
No tails.
And it is heads, so the contenders will start us off, and we'll begin the first quarter in just a second. All right, and to start us off with the first quarter, we have our own little piece of eye candy up here, Justin McCarty. So go ahead and pick your phrase there, pretty boy.
It's never the first round that gets you. It's going back for a healthy dose of second helpings that hurts.
I can preach that. All right, amen.
All right, well, if you're looking around you wondering what this is all about, I just want to tell you, I am right there with you, okay? This is my first year on staff as our Gateway North pastor, and so this makes it really my first Super Bowl, and I think... We'll get through this together, okay? We'll do it. Here's what I do know. As we have put all this together, our preaching in these 4 quarters is really meant to be 4 like halftime style, locker room style, like speeches that are meant to lift your spirits with the reality of hope. And here's why. As we spent time preparing for this year's Super Bowl messages, we realized that among the more serious problems facing our world right now is a hope crisis. Every day you look around and it feels like there's less and less reasons to hope. So many people have just given up the chance that things are ever going to really improve. And as hope declines, perhaps you've noticed this corresponding increase of things like angst and unrest and fear and anger. The Bible describes exactly what's going on. Proverbs 13 says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. And when you look at your news feed, when you watch social media, when you basically consult any channel in our world, you are saturated with more and more reasons not to hope. And the 4 of us, don't deny that there are some pretty significant headlines out there, and we don't deny that there's some really difficult realities up here. But we are here to tell you today that those aren't the only headlines and that there are even greater realities at play in our world, okay? One of the main reasons I think that we don't have hope, though, in general, is that we don't really have a whole lot of hope for change in ourselves when it comes to a permanent reality. And if hope never gets deeply personal to us, it'll never permanently change who you are. I think a lot of us live in between who we are and who we want to be. There's this ticking clock on our lives, and we're trying to seize this potential that's built into us, but a lot of times we don't know who we are. We don't know how to actualize that potential. We don't know how to get from here to there. It's kind of like that old proverb. It's never the first round that gets you. It's going back for a healthy dose of second helpings that hurts. It's into stuck places in our lives that God whispers this hope of transformation. Isaiah 43 says this, "Forget about what's happened. Don't keep going over old history. Be alert, be present. I'm about to do something brand new." That is God whispering into our world. And when you walk out of here today, I want you to walk out armed with reasons for hope. Hope that you can be transformed by God. So why do we have this hope here at Gateway? Well, the resurrection of Jesus gives us hope primarily. The resurrection of Jesus. I don't know if you've thought about it, clinically dead is a pretty stuck place to be in life. And that's what the Bible says happened to Jesus. He was crucified, he died, he was buried. No pulse, no EEG activity, 3 days dead, rigor mortis, decomposition of the body had set in. And then the Bible records, according to eyewitnesses, that Jesus was suddenly alive again. The God who made the entire universe took a man 3 days decomposed in the grave and raised him up to life again. So why should that give you hope? Romans 8:11 says this, "If the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ from the dead will give life to your mortal bodies also through his spirit that dwells in you." When you come to trust in Christ, the same power that defeated death, the Spirit of God, infiltrates you just like it did Jesus, which has some pretty hefty ramifications, meaning there is no dead place that he can't bring to life in us. There's no stuck place he can't move us out of. There's no addiction too strong, no sin too dark, no shame too deep. Your failure need not define you, and the mistakes in your life need not mark you forever. If Jesus was raised from the dead, then you have reason to hope. But even more than that, the people mentioned in the Bible give us hope. They're ordinary people just like you and me who through an encounter with God became radically different people. It's strewn across every page of the Bible. In fact, you can't hardly read a page without realizing this simple truth. If you've truly encountered God, then you're not going to be the same again. I could tell you about Moses, whom I'm sure you've heard about, the stutterer whom God called to be a public speaker. And not just any public speaker, his personal representative to the entire Egyptian government. Moses, a murderer whom God transformed over a period of time and to whom the Bible records the humblest man on earth and the liberator of an entire nation. I could tell you about the woman at the well, whom the Bible doesn't even give her a name, so we'll call her Wilma. Wilma,
Okay, we have intentional grounding of the Bible, making up of a biblical name, Wilma. Yeah. Is that like your sister mom from Kentucky or something weird?
Oh,
you know, it's awkward.
Do you know? Were you there?
Her name was Tiffany. I did read
Tiffany.
it. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
It's all good. It's a rookie mistake, man. It's good that you're so pretty.
Ooh. We were talking about Wilma, okay? Wilma. This woman at the well, a promiscuous woman who had already been through 5 marriages and was working on a 6th when she encountered Jesus. She finds this love in Jesus that she was not prepared for and had never experienced anything like it. It changed who she was. From the subject of the local rumor mill, she became the spiritual leader of her entire community as person after person was led to Jesus by this woman. It's ordinary people like you and me here in the Bible. If they can be transformed through their encounter with God, then you have reason to hope. But it's not just these folks. People all around you right here at Gateway, give us reason to hope. Not just stories in an ancient text, okay? You can write those off if you want to. Hey, were those people even real? I'm talking about real-time evidence of what God can do in the human heart. I could tell you the stories of people like Kay and David Moore here at our North Campus, who at one point in their life found their life trashed by infidelity and brokenness. They had given up all hope that their marriage would ever change, but God took them through a process of transformation. So much so that they eventually became leaders in our marriage ministry and have helped countless others find freedom and hope again for their marriage in Christ. So much so that David's now one of the spiritual leaders of our church. But I could tell you about more. I could tell you about Deborah Collins, who walked into this room only because she had hours of community service to complete. She stayed way up there in the back row, and then God led her through a process of transformation, and now every Sunday, she stands down here at the front as part of our prayer team, helping other people take hold of hope. I could tell you about James Wilson, who walked into this place as a disillusioned poet from New York City, who didn't really want anything to do with God, but God began a transformation process in him, beginning right here with his baptism here at Gateway, and propelled him into a life he never saw coming. James is now a resident in our leadership development program, and he's now considering seriously the question, hey, is God gonna transform this poet into a pastor? This is the stories of our lives. Gateway South, you just celebrated 10 years of life transformation just the other day. You got 10 years of stories and evidence all around you. Or Gateway Central, just lean around and talk to the people who came here with you, sitting in the seats next to you.
We have encroachment, sucking up to the audience, or butt kissing. That's a 10-yard penalty and a loss of a down. Come on, McFarty.
A little personal. Point is, if we as real people can be transformed through our encounters with God, then you have reason to hope. Do you realize what God sees when he looks at you? He sees the same thing he did when he looked at Moses, when he looked at Wilma, the woman at the well. He sees the same thing when he looked at David and Kay and Deborah and James. He doesn't just see who you are, he sees who you could become. And God always treats you according to the dignity of your potential. There is so much more. There's so much potential in you. You are far more than you think you are in God's hands. So listen to Isaiah when he says, forget about what's happened. Don't keep going over old history. Be alert, be present. I'm about to do something brand new. Call it fair.
That's a field goal for McFarty. 3 points for the field goal, along with 3 additional points for a successful use of the phrase from the bucket of chaos. And that is the end of the first quarter. Contenders 6, champions nothing.
All right, that wraps up the first quarter right there, Justine. And that's a shaky start for the rookie. 20 yards and penalties. Bet he wishes he could have that quarterback. Well, I cracked myself up. That was good.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Yeah.
That was good.
But hey, you know, an encroachment foul, kissing up, I mean, that is a rookie mistake. Most new pastors, that's just their default mode around here. But hey, we know that some of you did not come for the big game. What you came for this morning was the commercials. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll see you back here at the beginning of the second quarter.
Jesse Sampson recently graduated our leadership development program here at Gateway Church. And it was obvious that we had to bring him on staff. I mean, this guy, he just gets results.
You got served.
You got served.
You really don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.